how would you recommend we go to start learning about what we should be putting in our plant palette? Are there resources like a website or something like that that we could go to start getting? My biggest pain point here is because I just moved to Florida and I lived in actually zone 5B my entire life. Like, I don't recognize I don't know the names of any of these plants. I knew everything when I was up there, and now I'm in a totally new area.
Yeah.
So where do we get started if we want to go find our own plant palettes for that?
There's a lot of places to start. A lot of native plant society, almost every state, and even sometimes multiple within the state have native plant societies that publish, just lists and often very beginner guides to just figuring out what the nature of your place is. Apps like iNaturalist can be really helpful in that way too, because, there's a kind of user-generated aspect to iNaturalist that can sometimes not always be 100% right, but it's valuable.
But you'll catch the vibe. You'll get the idea.
Yeah, absolutely. It's valuable to sort of just have a little insight into what's happening and what's going on. And, the dialogue, even the discussions in places like that can be quite helpful. National Wildlife Federation is another one that comes to mind, where you can kind of zoom into different regions of the country and see, for instance, lists of keystone species, the plants that are natively part of those ecosystems that are kind of doing the most work. We live in an incredible biodiverse world, but nature kind of runs on the 80-20 rule in some ways. It's oftentimes a handful of very generalist powerhouse species that are accounting for a lot of the biodynamic activity out there in the world. Even if you had to get the top 5, what are the most valuable keystone species to kind of make my garden relevant and connected to the world around?
What I'm finding too with this new resurgence of interest is a lot of botanical gardens are even curating parts of their gardens in this more naturalistic way, so you can go and get insight. Because the old advice when you move to a new place is go walk around your neighborhood and look at what your neighbors are doing and then do that. But your neighbors aren't necessarily using native plants. They're doing some of the old ways. So I'm like, well, what's the right natural plant versus the landscape kind of, not invasive, but the for show landscape plant,